Hello, today we have my friend Michael Scalabrino's Hss Stratocaster on the bench. He's complained that the humbucker has no output or intermittent output. And my guess is going to be the switch. But as with anything, we won't know till we start digging. So let's get this pick guard off and get to work. Well, I gotta say, this is a first for me. I'm not really sure what this is. I could definitely figure it out. And it's got a super switch. So I'll have to freshen up on how these work. These are a little different. But yeah, I'm gonna have to pull my meter out and start figuring out what goes where. And that's the best way to do it. So, all right, here we go. Okay, well, today is a day of firsts. I had to actually call Suhr, in which, by the way, I want to just say how nice it is that there's a company in this world today where I could talk to a human being and say, hey, I'm trying to fix this. What is this? And have them give me a real answer. So this is really interesting. I was testing ground connections and I was like baffled. I was like, this doesn't make any sense. And I noticed that all the grounds were tied together and running into this thing over here in this cavity right here. And he was like, yeah, man, that's so that the single coils are hum canceling. So the ground's running here through a reverse polarity coil and it cancels hum while still maintaining the integrity of the single coil. Very interesting. What a fantastic and cool idea. So I guess what I'm going to have to do here is I'm going to test this pickup and make sure that it works, because if not, I'm going to have to replace this humbucker. I started looking here and I noticed this little blob of solder. It's not going anywhere. And then I noticed, fuck, I can't. There's this wire right here, this green wire. Well, I'm gonna guess that's the ground, because I can't get a connection between this and ground. Yet, for some reason, it's putting out a reading. I bet you if I attach this back right there, that this guitar will work fine. I figured it out. Here we go. Ground. So there's connection between this disconnected wire and ground, which means that the reason that this pickup is not working, this ground wire has come undone. Which this is an easy ass fix. All I have to do is unravel this wire and reground it. I'm not exactly sure. I mean, the manufacturing on this guitar is really top notch. So everything's really tidy and neat. I may have to, I don't know how to do this. This is some kind of shrink tubing. So I'm gonna have to maybe try to strip it because there's no other way for me to reseat the ground. Okay. All right, but I know what to do. And then he wants a coil tap. So they were kind enough to send me some wiring diagrams. And then I'm not going to touch these two single coils. So basically, I'll probably need to order a push-pull pot. And I'll need to wire that in. But otherwise, I think just putting this back will make, you know, the pot will work fine. So, okay. All right, we have a plan. Let's get to work. Okay, while I'm waiting on parts to come in for this electronics rewire, I'm going to level these frets. They are stainless steel, and they have dents in them, which means Michael has played this guitar a lot. Stainless steel frets are very hard, and they don't usually get dents. But yeah, so let's get this board level, and let's get to work. I love working on nice guitars. This is a nice instrument. I love Suhr. I've never owned anything from them, but anything I run across from them is just done so well. This board just immediately got just dead flat, no problems. Okay, so let's taper up and let's start sanding. In my soul. Feel the warm embrace of empty space. I want it all, and I don't want to wait. I hear it calling me to throw it all away. I won't be part of this endless race. I want to fall out into the grave, and it's me. It gets faster every time I breathe, and my feet always moving at pace I never seem to keep. I want it all, and I don't want to wait. I hear it calling me to throw it all away. I won't be part of this endless race. I want to fall out into the grave. Calling me to throw it all away. I won't be part of this endless race. I want to fall out into the grave. nice, beautiful, shiny frets. Get that in the light. Smooth crowned with a nice line down the center. You might even be able to see it. See that little line? It's hard to see. Yep. This guitar is going to play really good now. Next thing is I need to sand these out because that's going to cause problems. So I'm going to sand these little notches out. Okay, I've been waiting on some parts to come in. They have come in. This is what I needed, a push-pull pot. When you pull up, it does something. When you push it down, it does something. And that's what this is. This is a double pull, double throw switch. So you wire wires in here a certain way, and it just changes which lugs are in the circuit. Pretty simple. But yeah, okay, so I'm gonna take this tone pot out, and I'm gonna wire this humbucker in a certain way so that when he pulls up on this knob, it cuts one of these coils out in this humbucker. It's called a split coil. All right, so let's get to work. Okay, so the first thing I did is I grounded this cap to the side of this casing, and it should work for now. I'll have to see once I get everything else in. All right. Michael has asked me to do something to stabilize his tremolo. I do the same thing when I play downtown in Nashville. Sometimes you have to go in E flat or you have to go in standard tuning. And so if you float your trem, that causes all kinds of problems, because if the block moves from the added string tension of going to standard or releases from going down to E flat, either way, basically what happens is you mess up your intonation. And he is this trim claw screwed all the way in, which means these springs are at maximum tension. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to add some springs so that his trim remains decked. Okay, here we go. Okay, voila. So people always say, this is what Hendrix did. But actually, there are pictures of Hendrix, the back of Hendrix's guitar like this. Whether it was intentional or not, we'll never know. Because there's also pictures, I guess, of him floating his tremolo. Either way, for a Nashville gigging musician, this is the way to go, because the springs do affect the sound. You can hear the springs when you play. Like if you strum a chord and just stop and deaden the strings, you'll hear these springs. they make their own little spring reverb. They're a sound of the guitar, and after years of experimenting, they drastically affect the tone. So yeah, how you set up your trim cavity on a Strat is very important. So yes, so this is decked. It ain't going anywhere. So all right, that's how you do that. This is the worst part of every wiring job. When you plug it in and you just hope for the best. This should work. I've tested everything. We gonna find out. All right. Okay, we got signal. That's good. Sounds like a middle pickup. Sounds like a bridge pickup or neck pickup. Now here's the chance, the moment of truth. Uh-oh. Fuck. Kidding me? Yeah, that's not good. Son of a bitch. Okay, so the coil split doesn't work. Thankfully, his humbucker wasn't working, so I fixed that. Coil split's not working. I think I know why. Okay, here it is, Michael Scalabrino's Hss Suhr Stratocaster. To quickly recap the work that was done, fret level and crown, fixed a humbucker that had no output, put a coil tap in, and got the tremolo to stop moving. The way I did this was I added 2 springs. This is the best way I know to do it because springs are a sound of the Stratocaster. So it's important to keep the springs intact. Even if you deck your tremolo, keep your springs in because that's part of what makes this guitar sound the way that it does. Okay, let's just mess around here for a little bit. We all know that sound. Okay, let's go to the coil tab. Tapped. Humbucker. Coil split.